Hi guys, Nuck Dropshot here. I'm just going to do a little video on how I rig my drop shot. I do a lot of drop shot for smallmouth on the St. Lawrence River. It's very productive. Some of my biggest bass, actually my biggest bass, have come off of drop shot. So it's one of those techniques that's finesse and it can be a lot of fun and very productive. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. All right, let's give you a quick little preview of the items you're going to require. All right. Right here is the hooks I use. I like using the Mustad Demon Perfect Circles. A lot of guys like the drop shot hooks and stuff like that. I've tried different ones and I really like these circle hooks. I find you don't need a lot of effort to actually get a hook up, and when they are hooked, because of the way that point is, they do not come loose, which is great because I like running really light line. 10-pound braid with an 8-pound fluorocarbon lead, and I'm going to drop down to a 6-pound fluorocarbon lead this year. So you really can't have a lot of drag really tight in order to be able to get a big hook set on them. You want the hook to do the work for you. This allows you to use that lighter line and fool those bigger fish. What I normally run is the number 2. I found this past year I used to run a little bit bigger circle hook. I went down to a number 2 and I found that my quality of fish was actually increasing. I was getting a lot bigger bites with the lighter line and the smaller hook profile. So sometimes you're going to miss fish because it is a smaller hook, but I find when you did get them, you were getting into some bigger fish. I use 2 different styles of lead. I run the standard pencil drop shot weight. What I like to do with this is use a pair of scissors, and I actually open up that little clip, and then what I'm going to do is actually tie directly with a Palomar knot. When I run a lot of current, when I'm fishing in a lot of current, I notice that I'm either breaking off with those clips or it's just pulling loose. I don't like tying the little knot in there. I find that I get hung up and it breaks off. This just works better for me. Try it, it might work for you. I also run these Walker style baits. This is a 3/8. These work really well when you're running in current. It doesn't get hung up in the rocks as bad. That's what I found over the years. So those are the 2 types of lead I use. When you're going to be fishing with fluorocarbon, it does pay to actually spend a few extra dollars and get the best stuff. These 2 I've found work the best for me so far. This being the best. This is the Sunline Super Fluorocarbon Sniper, and this is the Seaguar Abrase X. These are both an 8-pound test. They both work really well, but I do find that the Super Sniper is just that much better. But either one, guys, they're about around the same price point. It's worth the money. If you're going to cheap out on the fluorocarbon, you're going to lose fish, and you're going to be retying way more than if you actually spend a few extra dollars. So in the long run, you're actually saving. These are my drop shot bait of choice. These are the Angler's Choice Kill Shots. This is a larger bag. That is the bait. This is a new color that's coming out in 2015. It is called Casper. It's really good in shallower water on a nice sunny day. It's just for demonstration. I'm going to use this one today. And then finally, Scent Attractant, Liquid Mayhem. This is the garlic minnow. I also would use the shad. This is just what I had on hand right for the video. So I add a little bead of this down the back side of that drop shot. These kill shots have nice ribs in there, so it really holds the Liquid Mayhem on there for a really long time. Good half an hour, 45 minutes submerged underwater. This stuff will still be on there. So it's something to keep in mind. It does make a difference. I find that it gives you a little bit more time to actually pick up on the bigger fish when they're just ticking at it or they lightly have it. They're going to hold on to that bait a little bit longer. All right, so my setup. I run 2 different styles. I have a 6.9 here, medium light action drop shot rod. I also like having the 7.2 medium extra. They both have extra fast tip. I like the 7.2 just because I find with the lighter line, I like to have that extra length. I think it kind of gives a little bit more of a springboard kind of effect. So when you're fighting with a big fish on lighter line, I think that the extra length helps take up that extra extra tension that that fish is putting on that line, and gives you a little bit better chance of not breaking off. All right, this is a 10-pound braid, and the knot that I'm going to tie is the modified Pete Gluzak knot. I call it the Nuck knot. For this, I'm going to use just some cheaper fluorocarbon, just for the demonstration. If you're wondering how to tie the knot, I've got a better demonstration on my YouTube channel. You can check it out, modified Nuck knot. All right, so all I want to do is fold my fluorocarbon over. You're going to really need to go check the video to be able to see this a little bit better. I'm just trying to show you how quickly you can tie it. Then pull the braid out, make a loop, come back across, go around, wrap it around 10 times. I just got messed up there. Hard to do when it's leaning up against the fridge. This isn't normally where I would be tying knots. Then you're going to bring your line back down through that loop that you've created with the fluorocarbon. Like I said, go check out that knot. Wet that, cinch it down by pulling on both the tag ends and the main line on both lines. And then you can then grab your tag ends on both and give them a pull. And then grab your main line and give them a pull. But bring it down to about the breaking point. Don't yank on it, you're going to weaken that fluorocarbon. And then you're just going to trim these tags off. I like to get pretty close, but not right up to the knot with the fluorocarbon, but I will go right to the knot with the braid. It's just in case there is a little bit of a slip. If it does slip a little bit, you're not going to lose your fish. I haven't had this knot fail me yet, so I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, I usually give myself somewhere between 6 to 10 feet of fluorocarbon, but I don't need to use that much right now for this demonstration. Then what I'm going to do is I like to generally tighten up my line and see how long it is to my first eyelet and just around the reel. What that lets me do is then I can just wrap my sinker around my rod and put my hook in through where my eyelet is, just for quick storage. So give myself a little bit of slack here. Now all you're doing is you're taking your hook and you're taking your line and you're going to do a Palomar knot. Real simple. Some guys use other knots. This is the one that I use. I like it the best. It's really quick and simple. You can find this on YouTube as well on how to tie a Palomar. Then you're going to take your tag end. This is really important. Take your tag end and go back in through the top of the hook and bring it down. And what that's going to do is allow that to hold that hook standing straight out. Okay, so it's going to present the bait better. If you don't do that, your hook's going to be flipping upside down and twisting all around. And then bring the line down. Take my tag end and I'm going to do another Palomar knot just on my pencil weight here. Bite off my little bit of the tag. I'll leave a little bit on there. And then all you're going to do is just take your bait, Angler's Choice Kill Shot, and you're just going to nose hook that. Just like that. And that is your drop shot setup. Now another important thing, especially running your lighter line, is your drag. You got to make sure that it's not too tight. As you can see, that's pretty loose. I might even back that off a little bit more. It's better to have it loose than too tight, because when you go and you hook into a fish, if it's too tight, you are going to break off. So basically, that's my setup for drop shot, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to follow me on Twitter, Nuck Bassin, and I'll do my best to try to answer the questions. Other than that, guys, tight lines, and see you on the water.